Yavapai Broadcasting and the City of Cottonwood proudly present Inside Cottonwood, an inside look at the decisions and issues of the City of Cottonwood. Brought to you by Arizona Smile Designers.
On your mark, get set, and go. With just 50 days left until the Brian Mickelsen Marathon, it's not too late to break out those running shoes and sign up for the 4th annual Brian Mickelsen Marathon, half marathon, 10K, and 2-mile event. My name is Jason Little, Recreation Manager, and welcome to Inside Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Edition. With me today, I'm joined by Ryan Bigelow, the Recreation Program Supervisor. Welcome, Ryan.
Thanks for having me again.
Well, Ryan, we've talked about this briefly in the past, and now it's quickly approaching, and we thought we'd get you in here one more time to discuss what's going on and where you're currently at with the Brian Mickelsen planning.
Yeah, we're looking really good as of right now. Like you said, 50 days away. Really excited this year. As far as registration is concerned, we are to date about double of where we were at this time last year. So that's exciting. We're going to have a lot of people come out for the event again, and you can still sign up. So we're really excited.
Now, Ryan, we've been running this program for a lot of years now, and sign-ups every year, they're a little different. Have you saw a categorical influx with any of the specific sign-ups to date as we're getting closer to the race?
I just think this year it's a little different. People are getting out to sign up a little bit earlier. I think the 10K has probably the most registrations as of right now. That's pretty standard for us at this point in time. But we do have a lot of people registered for the other events as well. But the 10K is definitely kind of our bread and butter, and that's where people are registered at this point.
When you look at percentages, where are we at? I know that we were talking briefly in the hallway the other day, and you said that sign-ups are up a little as compared to in previous years. Where are we?
We are, like I said, about double of where we were last year, and the 10K especially is up from where we were last year. The half marathon, people are coming in there and signing up, and there's even a few marathoners ready to go.
That's fantastic. This event, similar like Thunder Valley Rally and events in the past, it's had a few different names. One, I guess it's a two-part question. How many consecutive years have you been doing the Mickelsen race, and how many years has the event been around in general? And under what name?
Yeah, this is the 4th annual Brian Mickelsen Memorial. This will be the inaugural marathon. And this is actually the 20th year of a running event run by the City of Cottonwood. Prior to it being the Brian Mickelsen Memorial, it was the Verdi Mingus Blowout, and at that point it was a 10K and 2-mile run. So, this is a well-established event. We've got people locally, and now we're expanding beyond that. Have us on their calendar, have us on the map.
Historically, when you attach, like a nonprofit or a name to an event, you do see an influx in runners. Back in the day, long before you were here, we did run the Verdi Mingus Blowout, and a good year for us was 130 to 150 runners. How many participants have you had in years past since you guys started the Mickelsen race?
Since we started, the very first year we were off to a great start. A lot of momentum, a lot of support, and it speaks a lot about Brian himself. A lot of people come out, people who have never ran before in their lives, but just wanting to support the event, wanting to support Brian and what he stood for. So the first year was great. We had 480 runners. The second year, the momentum had slacked a little bit. Other things were going on, so we fell a little bit in participation, but still we had over 350 runners, which is still a fantastic number. And then last year, kind of blew everybody out of the water and came up with 560 registrants, which was amazing. And like we talked about before, our pace is even higher this year. So we are excited and ready to have a lot more people this year.
Fantastic. I don't know if everyone's similar to me. I hope not. But anyway, when football's on, football season, you go through the playoffs, Super Bowl, stuff like that, I tend to lead a sedentary life, sitting on the couch, watching football 6, 7, 8 hours a day on Sundays. I don't get out a lot. 50 days left. Do you still have enough time to train for the 10K, the marathon, and the half marathon?
I think absolutely. Obviously, this is going to be an individual person's perspective, but if you do sit on the couch a lot, a 2 mile, anybody can get up and do that, and that's a good start. That's anybody can do 2 miles, and then they can get a feel for how the race works, how everything goes, and then maybe next year you set your goal for the 10K. I think we see a lot of that in these people. A lot of people came out for the 2 mile, and then they made it their goal for the following year to maybe run the 10K. Same with the 10K. I'll do the 10K this year. Maybe next year I'll do the half. 50 days is plenty of time. Half marathon if you haven't ever ran before, I think that might be pushing it, but a 10K is well within your range.
Okay, question for you here. We're adding a marathon this year.
Yes.
I understand the Sedona Marathon, they have between 100 and 130 runners for their marathon. For marathoners here locally in the Verde Valley or the surrounding areas, if they wanted to participate in our marathon, can you briefly explain the course layout so they can go out and maybe run segments and sections and see if it appeals to them?
Sure. If any of them are familiar with our half marathon course, this is kind of nice that it does follow the majority of the half marathon course. You're going to start at Riverfront Park, run up Main Street towards Tuzagut National Monument, and there you're going to take a left on Sycamore Canyon. From there you're going to go out about approximately 6 miles and back approximately 6 miles. It's a beautiful area, dirt roads out there, just right next to the water. It's really a great addition to the course. From there, Sycamore Canyon back to the monument. We're going to take you on some trails, and we're going to go back into Riverfront Park, or I'm sorry, Dead Horse Ranch State Park. Through Dead Horse Ranch State Park, see a lot of the stuff that they have to offer around the lagoons, and then back down towards Riverfront Park.
That sounds like a nice course. And you mentioned Sycamore Canyon. If you're running out Sycamore Road, you say you go out 6 miles, then you turn around. How close are you to the actual Sycamore Canyon? Because a lot of people, if they're here for the weekend, that is also a destination a lot of hikers and people like to go out and see. Is it much further?
Sure, it's not much further at all. We almost take you all the way out there. I'm going to say it's less than a mile to go, and then you're out to the canyon itself, where, like you said, there's a lot of nice hiking, access to the river and everything. So we're trying to promote with these courses a lot of what we have to offer, and the marathon's no different.
I remember when you and I were actually charting the course, we saw the antelope out there. There was a group of antelope. I mean, the beauty out there, like you said, it's pristine country.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't know what's out there. With a marathon, you're essentially doubling the time it's going to take to finish the race. So I'm assuming, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're going to probably have to start a lot earlier.
Yes, we are. We're the full marathon's going to have a 6 o'clock a.m. start. That's not unlike a lot of other marathon races, especially in Arizona in April. We're going to have great weather, I know it, and just to avoid maybe being out there in an 80-degree day, we're going to start them early so they can finish earlier when those temperatures are prime for running.
So if you're going to guarantee the weather, we can count on you to refund people who aren't pleased with the weather? Is that what?
I wish. No guarantees, no refunds, but April, that's why we do it in April, because the weather around here is hard to beat.
That's fantastic. I know a lot of races are coming up, marathons that are nationally renowned. You have to qualify for those races. Brings me to a point, certification of a course. I guess, and correct me if I'm wrong because I don't know a lot about this, you have to run a certified course in order, and your time has to be, I guess, in a certain range, and it's probably based on your age, to qualify for events like these. Is one, the course certified, and secondly, what does that mean?
Well, to answer your first question, we're just this next weekend, we are going to be United States Track and Field certified. We have someone fairly local coming down to do that, and a couple volunteers to help, so that's going to be nice. What the certification means for the marathon, and we're getting the half marathon certified as well, is that you will be qualified for Boston Qualifier with that certification. Boston, as far as I know, is the big one, the main one that is going to require a certain time for you to qualify to participate in their event. And any United States Track and Field course would be able to qualify you. We've actually got more information on that on our website, cottonwoodaz.gov, and you go to the Brian Mickelsen Memorial page. We've laid out a Boston Qualifier page there that they can read more details on.
Great. We're 50 days out. early registration. When does it end, early registration, and what are the fees for early registration? And if for some reason you miss the cutoff, you haven't heard about the race, or you're getting in shape and suddenly you just decide, I'm going to run one of these races, what are the fees after the deadline?
So our deadline is April 1st. We're going to make another change in our rates. Right now, to run the marathon, it's only going to cost $70, which is one of the things we pride our race on being very affordable for everybody. To some who don't know, that $70 is a very respectable and reasonable rate for a full marathon. And after April 1st, on April 1st, we're going to jump those rates up to just $80. So it's not a huge change in fee, but we will, to encourage people to register early so we can prepare for those people. We do change the rates in April. And then you can also continue to sign up the day of the race, but again, there's going to be another rate increase at that time.
Okay, if I'm interested in finding more information or talking to someone in person, do you have a telephone number or a website whereby I could go and find the information I'm looking for?
Cottonwoodaz.gov, we've got a link there. You'll see the Brian Mickelsen Memorial logo on the side. Just click there. We tried to upgrade and update that as much as possible. We should have a lot of answers to a lot of questions there, including the ability to register on that site. Cottonwood Parks and Recreation at the Recreation Center, 150 South 6th Street. We've got people there that can answer questions, myself included, and that's 639-3200, and we're there to answer questions whenever you need to give us a call.
That's fantastic. Get your coffee ready. You got 2 minutes, and then we'll be back with more Brian Mickelsen information.
Meet the team at Arizona Smile Designers, offering complete, comprehensive, restorative, and aesthetic dentistry. Dr. Vergara and Dr. Lord specialize in dental health, implants, and cosmetic dental procedures. Expert staff and state-of-the-art equipment bring forth the most from your smile. Dr. Ripplinger conveniently comes to Arizona Smile Designers for oral surgery and complicated procedures. Visit Arizona Smile Designers at 350 South Willard in Cottonwood. Insurance and new patients are welcome. Call 634-8610.
Good morning and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood Parks and Recreation Edition. My name is Jason Little, Recreation Manager for the City of Cottonwood. With me today I have Ryan Bigelow, the Recreation Program Supervisor, and we're talking about the Brian Mickelsen full marathon, half marathon, 10K and 2-mile race coming up April 21st here in just 50 days, Ryan. Before we went to break, we were talking about the marathon. It's the new facet of the race, the new facet of the program this year, and it's quite exciting. In the previous 3 years, this is the 4th annual, you had recently expanded it from just a 10K to a half marathon. So I'd like to talk about the half marathon a little bit. Last year, I know you saw a significant influx in the number of people who ran the half marathon. How many ran last year?
We had a very surprising and pleasantly surprising number of about 125 registrants for the half marathon, which, like you discussed before, that would have been a good year for the 10K and 2-mile combined. So we've got a lot of people. We're on the map, and people are looking forward to this event third Saturday in April every year now.
Now, historically, I wouldn't necessarily have talked about winning times. However, I've noticed that from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, the winning times drop significantly because you're getting the more elite runners to come out and run this course, because I'm assuming they're hearing from others who have ran the course that, you know, the course is a good course to run. What are the winning male and female and youth times for the half marathon? Do you have times that you can throw out?
Yeah, absolutely. Last year the men's winning time was 1 hour and 14 minutes. For the women, it was 1 hour and 37 minutes. And we actually had a local boy named Austin Moffitt, 15 years old, ran the half marathon in just 1 hour and 33. So I'm not sure where he stands, if he's at Mingus Union at this point in time, but if he is, I'm sure they're glad to have him. Wow,
that breaks down to something like an 8-minute mile.
Well,
I mean, over that.
It's an incredible pace for somebody that young.
Okay. When before we went to break, you were talking about the marathon. You talked about the course and how a significant portion of the course is similar, the marathon than that of the half marathon. Can you explain the half marathon course, and if you could really go into detail? What I really find fascinating and intriguing about the course is I think it's between miles 7 and 9. When you drop down, you go up around close to the monument, you come back down and you go down through the entrance to Dead Horse, the back way. Can you explain the course?
Yeah, again, riverfront to Tuzagoot. And what you're talking about specifically there is, it might be a hidden gem to some. There's an area that's kind of just uncovered by trees. In April, it's got a lot of green grass, single track back there, so it's pretty narrow, but it is just something that I don't know if a lot of people are aware of. Then you get out through that single track area, you're going to cross a bridge, and that's going to be over about mile 8, and then back up into Dead Horse Ranch State Park. So there's a lot of trails back there that people are aware of, but I think we introduce a lot of area that maybe not everybody knows about.
Okay, it's a subjective question for you. We're 50 days out, and we've mentioned that a few times, and I'm probably beating a dead horse there. But I know you don't purport to be an expert on running.
No.
However, I know that you are in contact with a lot of runners. If you're planning on training for a half marathon, one, is 50 days enough time? And secondly, how many miles do people typically log when they're training for their first half marathon? Do you have?
Yeah, I have some rough estimates here. Like you said, I'm no expert on the subject, but you can look up a lot of different websites, things like that. They'll give you training guides. 50 days, is that enough? Yes, that is enough. Absolutely. You're going to be training pretty hard if you're going to be looking at that, and we don't want to have anybody overextend themselves by any means. But 50 days would be enough. A lot of training programs, 12 weeks is about right. Where you're logging anywhere from 10 to 20 to 30 miles a week. You're running, 3 or 4 miles, 4 or 5 days a week. It is a process. We don't encourage anyone to go out there and try and run 13 miles without having any training whatsoever. But with 50 days left, if you were able to start now and really dedicate yourself, absolutely, it's within your realm.
And we do have EMS on standby, correct?
Correct, yes. Fire, City of Cottonwood Fire will be there. We have plenty of medical staff there.
That's fantastic. You also mentioned, or we discussed it prior to the recording of this show, that course is certified as well. What's the significance of having a half marathon course certified?
I think it's just a comfort level with a lot of our runners, and especially like we discussed, as we grow, we get a lot more competitive runners coming to our course. They want to know that the mileage is exact. With GPS these days, and people have these on their own watches, that they know if we're off by 1/10 of a mile, that could really affect their time. They want to know and want to be confident that somebody's overlooked this course, and they know to the exact point that we're going to be accurate with our times and with our distances.
Okay, if you are one of those elite runners, is there prize money if you break the course record? Do you receive prize money?
Yeah, we offer some prizes. Course records, we'll look back and see, and we'll offer up to $100 in cash for a course record, and also Solomon's been a real nice sponsor for us the last few years. They provide gift certificates of shoes, so if you're a half marathon or a marathon winner, we're going to try and get you a free pair of Solomon shoes, and we have some medals as well. So it's not all for naught. If you're a winner out there, we can try and compensate you a little bit.
Everyone's a winner out there.
Everyone's a winner out there, absolutely.
Okay, we already went over the rates of the marathon. What are the rates of the half marathon up to April 1st?
Half marathon, again, very reasonable for a half marathon. Right now, you're looking at $50 for a half marathon. April 1st, we'll bump that up to $60. You'll still have the opportunity to sign up day of, but again, the rates will go up for the day of. But right now, $50 for a half marathon. Pretty competitive, pretty hard to beat.
Okay, so it goes up to 60 after the April 1st
April
deadline.
1st, yes, correct.
Comparatively speaking, Ryan, how do you set your rates? Do you look at other races, or are there specific things that dictate what a rate's going to be?
We've been pretty consistent with our rates even back to the Verdi Mingus blowout days. You know, we've obviously benchmarked multiple other races out there, Arizona races across the country, and we're trying to get to a point where we can break even with the event. You know, the event has a lot of costs with it, but we're able to do that, and we set our rates as such. We're not trying to get rich off this by any means. We're just trying to provide a service and provide a product for the people of Arizona nationally to enjoy.
Okay, winners are walking away with new shoes, Salomon shoes. What else does everyone receive who might just register for the marathon, the half marathon, or the 10K? Do you get anything else?
Yeah, it's almost become custom for races to offer T-shirts, but I've got our T-shirt from last year here, 100% polyester technical T-shirt, which is got the Brian Mickelsen logo on it. These have been really popular. We stepped it up that very first year. It was really important to us to offer a nice T-shirt, and I think the last 3 years we've been able to do that. We're going to offer these 100% polyester technical T-shirts to all of our 10K half marathoners and marathoners, and then all of our sponsors are included there on the back. So this is included with the registration fee, so many people will sign up for this alone.
That's a really nice shirt, Ryan. I guess leading us into the second break, once again, if you're interested in the half marathon, the marathon, or the 10K, can you give us a telephone number, a name, or an email address, or a website we can check out?
Yeah, cottonwoodaz.gov. Go to the Brian Mickelsen Memorial tab. We got our logo up. 639-3200. Call the Cottonwood Recreation Center. You can register there. You can register online, or just swing by the rec center. That's where a lot of people are doing their training these days. So swing by, grab a registration form, and get it all done there.
Stay tuned. We still have the 10K race to talk about, the 2-mile race, and plenty of generous sponsors. We'll see you in a few.
Meet the team at Arizona Smile Designers, offering complete comprehensive, restorative, and aesthetic dentistry. Dr. Vergara and Dr. Lord specialize in dental health, implants, and cosmetic dental procedures. Expert staff and state-of-the-art equipment bring forth the most from your smile. Dr. Ripplinger conveniently comes to Arizona Smile Designers for oral surgery and complicated procedures. Visit Arizona Smile Designers at 350 South Willard in Cottonwood. Insurance and new patients are welcome. Call 634-8610.
Good morning and welcome back to Inside Cottonwood. Jason Little, Recreation Manager, here with Ryan Bigelow, the Recreation Program Supervisor. Topic of conversation today, the Brian Mickelsen full half, 10K, and 2-mile race coming up April 21st, 2012. Prior to going to break, we were discussing the half marathon course, and we had went into the full marathon in the first segment. Wrapping things up here in the next 10 minutes, I'd like to briefly talk about the 10K race and the 2-mile. Ryan, we don't need to spend a lot of time on it, but is the 10K course similar to what it has been in years past?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a really key element to our race. People do enjoy the course, and we're not going to tinker with it. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. So we're going to start at Riverfront Park, bring them straight into the state park there, Dead Horse Ranch State Park, and bring them around, show them the lagoons, show them some of the campgrounds, and then come back to Riverfront Park. So it's been successful, and we're going to keep it that way.
4 years back, the name was changed to the Brian Mickelsen race. For those who might not know, who was Brian Mickelsen, and why was the race changed to that name?
Brian Mickelsen was the city manager for the city of Cottonwood, longtime city manager, a well-liked and well-respected individual, and he was actually training for a half marathon when he passed away. So to honor him, I think it was pretty much a unanimous decision by everyone in the city to say we'll change the name of this race, the Bertie Mingus Blowout, and we'll name it after Brian and make it a memorial, and that's what it's about.
Okay, in years past, the family's been highly involved. I believe that Mr. Dane Mickelsen got married last year, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was last year. I know Kai's an avid runner. I know he trains for triathlons and various things with the NAU, the club team up at NAU. Is the family still involved?
Yeah, we really couldn't do this this race without Lynn Mickelsen. She has, from day one, been a real integral part of what we've been doing. She's involved in from A to Z how this race works. She's got her fingers in all of it, and then she's really enjoyed the process. Like you said, Dane was married at the end of the event last year. I believe Kai was the one who created the logo for the race, so they're always going to be involved in some fashion or form in this race.
The 2-mile run and walk, it's set up for a reason to honor Brian. What are the fees before and after the April 1st deadline for the 2-mile walk?
Just right now, you're just looking at a $15 fee, and it'll go up to $20. That's just our nice, easy 2-mile out to Dead Horse Ranch and back. That's the one that we want for everybody to be able to participate in. There, you don't have to be an avid runner. You don't have to be a competitive runner. You can come out, support the event, support Brian, get out there and just do the nice, easy 2-mile, run or walk that event.
I guess the cause really adds to the ambiance of this race. What are some of the start and finish line activities that runners can expect or participate in after they finish the race?
This year we're gonna have, as in years past, a live band. The Knuckleheads are gonna play again. They played for us a couple of years back. We're also gonna have a couple of award presentations for those who finished in the top 3 of their age group. We'll separate those this year. We'll have an earlier one for the 2-milers and 10Kers, so they don't have to stay around all day, and then a later one for the half marathoners and marathoners. We're going to have a number of vendors out there at the event, so people can take a look at some different vendors, and Yavapai Broadcasting is actually going to be out there this year filming the event. So there's going to be plenty to do. Stick around. Renegades is going to have a pasta feed for our participants Saturday. So plenty of reasons to hang out and just enjoy a beautiful Saturday morning / afternoon at Riverfront Park.
I'd just like to hold this up once again. I know it's hard to zoom in. You have a lot of sponsors.
A lot.
Who are some of the primary sponsors on the back of this shirt? And if you're watching the show and you knew Brian, or you're an avid runner and you want to get involved as it pertains to sponsorships, how would you do that? Starting with your sponsors.
Starting with the sponsors, and we cannot forget these groups, especially the Heart and Vascular Center of Northern Arizona. They've been our primary sponsor since day one. They jumped aboard at the drop of a hat. They didn't have to be convinced at all. They were in and they were ready to go. They've also just they've provided volunteers at the event. They have people come into our generally regular scheduled meetings. I mean, they're involved. They're not just cutting us a check by any means. This year, Entire Care, Sports and Medicine is also back there as a major sponsor. Cottonwood Chamber of Commerce. We mentioned again, Renegades will be out there serving some food. Solomon Shoes. Mountain View Villa Apartments has made a sponsorship. Best Western has helped us with hotels. And then there's many more jumping aboard. If you'd like to jump aboard and be a part of this event and sponsor, they can contact me at the Recreation Center, and we can work through, there's many different avenues to help participate, not just in monetary donations. There's in-kind donations. Lynn Mickelsen is in charge of a raffle where she does a couple of sponsorships there. There's just volunteers. There's 100 different ways you can be involved in this event, and we won't say no to any of them. So if they want to contact me at Ryan Bigelow at the Cottonwood Recreation Center, I'd be more than glad to talk some options.
Fantastic. As you mentioned, the race is going to be broadcast this year. If I'm coming down from NAU, myself and a couple of friends, or I'm a local person, what does that mean for the participants?
Well, it means that hopefully you get to see yourself on TV, which is always kind of cool to be able to take a look at yourself, and it gets some of our sponsors, some of their names out there a little bit more, and it gives you a reason to come back. A lot of people hopefully enjoy the process and enjoy what we have to offer that nice sunny April day that we're going to have, and then hopefully can look up online, and we'll get more details on that, on how to actually watch themselves finish or get an interview or be on TV in some fashion.
Are 2-milers eligible for this nice technical tee that you brought with us? What do they receive?
The technical tee is reserved for the longer distance races, but we do provide a nice t-shirt for all of those participants too, so I don't want them to feel like they're left out in the dark. They still do receive a cotton t-shirt with that looks exactly the same as the others, just not the technical fabric, if you will.
It takes a lot of volunteers to put on a race of this magnitude. Who are some of the service groups that are interested, and is there anyone else you'd like to mention who's really stepped up to volunteer for this? I know you. Yeah, this list,
in 2 minutes. This list is going to go on and on, but really quick. We've got a bunch of groups that run our water stations. We've got individual volunteers that do an incredible job for us. So ASIS Massage, the Kiwanis, Walgreens, Mingus Union Trainers, Light Vibe Dance, the Lions Club, the Knights of Columbus, the Boardman, the Patton, and the Baker families, they all run water stations. This year, the Looking Good Cottonwood's going to come up with a group to run a water station. Our local Little League's going to get involved. The Boys and Girls Club's going to be out there. CMS Cross Country has done an incredible job of helping us out, and they actually schedule this as an event now for them just to help out and volunteer. The House of Ruth is going to send some representation. This cannot happen without Lynn Mickelsen, Susie Beach, Denise Diedrich, Debbie and Randy Pickard, Barry Jones, Carrie Wells, and of course my wife Alicia, who represents the Heart and Vascular Center, has been a real catalyst for this to all happen.
That's an extensive list.
And it goes on. I know I didn't get everybody.
Right. Well, Ryan, you have about a minute left. Once again, if you're interested in signing up, you contact the Recreation Center, and I believe you said that number was 639-3200. You also mentioned the website, and what's that website?
Cottonwoodaz.gov, and then we've got our logo just on the left-hand side. You can't miss it. And
then lastly, Yavapai Broadcasting is going to help us out, and so not only can you watch it on television, but YouTube as well. Is that right?
Yeah, we'll have information, and what I'll do is for all of our registrants, I'll send out a welcome to the race email, and I'll give them all the links that they need, all the necessary information, and we'll have a link to Yavapai Broadcasting so they can know. Hopefully, the day after, they can be able to get up there and watch themselves already.
Thanks in advance, volunteers. This is a worthwhile cause. It keeps everyone active. It gets the community involved. Thanks, Yavapai Broadcasting. We look forward to having you out there. For all of you first-time runners, please check out Ryan's website. Get your first half marathon on video, and be a keepsake and a memory you can share with family members the rest of your life. And thanks to all of you who tuned in today to learn more about the Brian Mickelsen, when the race is going to be held, and we hope to see you out there once again, Ryan, April 21st.
April 21st at Riverfront Park. Be there bright and early.
We'll see you then.